Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another ICB live stream video. Tonight, hands-free, not allowed to touch anything. I have this fantastic team working in the background, and they take care of absolutely everything for me. I just get to sit here and look pretty, and chat to you. Joining me tonight is my co-host, Mandisa. I think she will be with us shortly. Yes, so welcome to yet another live stream, and we do hope that you have been finding these informative and that you are gaining value from them, and that you will continue to do so as we progress through the series. And of course, remember, these live streams are recorded and placed onto our YouTube website so that you can access them at a later date. And excuse me. So that you can access them at a later date again, should you need to, or tell your friends about them. If nothing else, tune in to laugh at me. Always a good reason. Right, so on to tonight's topic. Okay, and tonight we're talking about how to upload your assignment. Now, in some ways, I know that this probably sounds terribly simplistic, but it's important that we take you through the steps that are required so that you know exactly what you are doing each step of the way. We do not want anybody to be confused. We do not want anybody to miss uploading an assignment or anything like that. So if we go through and we can look, yes, the sessions that we have covered. Okay, clearly, I should have my co-host with me because she's a bit more on the ball about these things than I am. Right, so what we have covered, we've looked at the 2021 prospectus, we've looked at the 2021 portfolio, we've looked at how to complete your portfolio of evidence, we've looked at how to book and postpone exams. Tonight, how to upload your assignment, okay? And this refers very specifically to an assignment in your POE. Next week, we are looking at paper versus online exam booking. What's new for RTAP and RPL students. I think this is going to be very important for those students who are busy with the National Diploma, Financial Accounting, and any students, of course, who are looking to RPL onto any of our programs. Where to find your results, online exams, what is required, how to register on the student portal. And Mandisa's here! Everybody, big hand! Yay! Okay.
My apologies for running late, guys.
Not a problem. Okay, so we've just been through the sessions that we have covered. We've looked at those that are still coming up, and I think the next slide will tell us exactly what we're looking at this evening. Okay. So first of all, some reminders, because it's always good to have reminders. Then we're going to deal with downloading the assignment. We're going to deal with completing the assignment offline. I know that this has been touched on before, but it's good to go through this. Again. Creating a .pdf document. Okay, and of course, finally uploading the assignment. Right, unfortunately, my internet connection is not so great tonight, but I was trying to find a song for everyone. I am the one and only. Okay, I really wanted to play it for everybody, but we can go, the Chrome is the one and only. Okay, so every time we see that icon, just think, the one and only. Okay. Yeah, so I think that's, this is something we repeat again and again and again, but okay. So Mandisa, as you know, one of the things that we've covered is that the POE now contains 3 learning phases, okay? And very important that these learning phases are sequential. So basically, if I'm looking at the POE, I cannot do learning phase 2 until I have completed learning phase 1. And that is the assignment and the class test, or the test. Okay, both of which are online for Learning Phase 1. Okay, similarly, Learning Phase 2, the assignment and test are online. Okay, you cannot do Learning Phase 3 until you have completed Learning Phase 2. Okay, so this is something very important and you know, something students need to be aware of in terms of planning their time. I think if you're going to try and rush everything and do all 3 learning phases in 2 days, I mean, you're being a little bit unrealistic. Wouldn't you agree?
Garrett, just from my side, I mean, I've been seeing a lot of students on social media basically asking, why have we now put in those measures in place whereby you cannot progress to the next level until you've completed the initial level first?
You know, a lot of that has to do with assessment and academic integrity. You know, we don't want people rushing through the assignments and the tests thinking that they have little value. Students need to be able to spend time on those to actually not only test their knowledge and skills, but also develop the skills of answering questions online. And so, you know, it is important to actually take time. Also, what happens is, you know, you're tested on certain knowledge and skills in Learning Phase 1. Learning Phase 2 tests additional knowledge and skills, but building on what was covered in Learning Phase 1. So again, this is why it is sequential, and you know, you cannot just jump to Learning Phase 3 and do the assignment there. You actually do need those steps beforehand.
Yeah. And I think when it comes to the paper POE, that's exactly how it was designed to be used. And it just so happens that because learners had access to that information in advance, they were then skipping the steps and jumping straight onto like an assignment tree, as opposed to learning in a progressive manner, which is recommended by academics as well as the people that have obviously set up these assignments and the portfolio.
Yes, of course. I mean, you know, and again, it also goes back to the value of the formative assessments. I had a query from someone the other day to say that the student had passed the POE and passed the exam, but still failed the module. How was this possible? Okay, you have to remember that you have a total mark that is weighted, 30% formative, 70% summative, your exam. So the weighted marks are added together to calculate your overall mark. And if you do not have a mark above 60%, you're going to fail the module. Okay. So yes, it is possible to pass both your formative assessments and your exam, but if your marks are not high enough overall, so yes, again, this is why students need to take time and need to progress through these things properly. Right, so moving on. So let's talk about downloading the assignment. Very, very important. There is one answer book and one question paper for each module. Okay, so on your POE, you will see that there are little blue links. Okay, students need to download the question paper and the answer book. Okay, so it's 2 downloads that need to happen. Okay, from there, they need to print off the downloaded question paper and answer book. Okay, now here we're looking very specifically at assignment 3, which happens in Learning Phase 3. This is downloaded and completed offline for all students. Okay. So the assignment is completed in the answer book. Okay, that is very, very important. Okay, so the thing about this as well is that each module has a very specific assignment 3. Okay, so it's tailor-made to each module. It's not a generic assignment that goes across the board. Okay, this is designed specifically for each module. Okay, students are required to write the answers to the questions in the answer book. Okay, Again, very, very important when you are writing the assignment, you need to do it in black pen, okay? Why? Because black is what shows up when we scan the documents. If you do it in blue or pencil, okay, it does not show up when you scan. And this brings me to what you're talking about with handwriting as well. Okay, it's very, very important that you write legibly. If I receive work as the marker, okay, and I cannot clearly see what you have written, I cannot assign you a mark. Okay, so your handwriting needs to be neat. It needs to be done in black pen, okay, and preferably free of grammar errors, okay, or as free as possible. Okay, because sometimes we make many grammar errors and it actually obscures the meaning. So there are various things that we need to pay close attention to in completing assignment 3. Okay, just to rehash, black pen, okay, in the answer book, write legibly, okay, and preferably no grammar errors. Okay, brings out the grammar Nazi in me. Okay. So the last one.
Sorry, before you move on, if I forget these instructions, will I find a copy of these instructions on the actual online portfolio? Or do I need to now jot these down as you're going through them?
Absolutely, everything is there.
Okay.
So I'm not divulging any new secret information. Okay. Everything is contained in the POE. Okay. So now we get to the exciting part, uploading the assignment. So first of all, you need to scan the assignment. So scan your answer book, okay? The most common way of doing this is using a scanner that is already part of a printer. The alternative, okay, depending on the make of your phone, okay, you can use your phone to scan those documents, okay? But please, don't wait until the last minute to try it, okay? Rather test it beforehand. Certainly the more modern and up-to-date phones can scan and they will save those documents as PDFs, okay? Something else. When you are scanning the document, you need to, scanning your answer book, you need to scan it as a single .pdf document, okay? Your answer book may be 20 pages. We do not want 20 scans. We want 1. Okay. This is really important to pay attention to, because on your POE when you're uploading the document, okay, there is space for 1 upload. You cannot upload multiple documents. Okay. So this is why you need to actually get it down to, or scan it as a single document, so that when we download it on our end, we get it as 1, okay? So you've scanned the document, okay? And you've made sure that it is in PDF format. The third thing to do is to rename the document. And we have a very, very specific naming sequence, okay? So if you're looking at the screen, you will see assignment _ 3 _ subject. Subject. Now, this is the name of the module that you're doing. So it could be bookkeeping to trial balance, it could be CPRS, it could be FRRF. Okay. So
can I use the shortened name for the subject, or does it need to be bookkeeping to trial balance, or can I say BKTB?
You can say BKTB. Okay, because that is something that we use, so we're familiar with that. If you just say BK, well then, okay. So please make sure when you're using the name, okay, if you're going to use BKTB, you write BKTB. Okay, we need the whole thing there. Okay, then after the subject, okay, _ reference number. Now the reference number is the student's ICB student number. Okay, please, no ID numbers. Okay, everybody is issued with a unique ICB student number, and that is what needs to go in there. Okay, so once all of that is done, okay, we can now upload the document. Okay, and again, if we go to, if you look at the If you look at your POE online, okay, very, very clearly it indicates where you need to upload the document. Okay, so if we move on to the next slide, I think there we have got a picture of it. Absolutely, there we go. So this is what your screen will look like. Okay, so you will see in the center there, you have that large white block with file submissions, and there is your file. You can see as it is a PDF document, okay, and with the name of the file. Above that, there is this pink block, okay. In the pink block, there's a little box that you need to tick. This box, well, this tick confirms that this is your own work, that you have not plagiarized, that you've not copied anybody, that nobody else has helped you with the assignment, that should not have, okay. If you do not tick this box, tick the declaration, okay, you will not be able to submit, okay. So once you have ticked the box, down at the bottom, you see there's a blue button, and you click on Save Changes. Okay, so now, there we go. And from there, the screen changes, okay. And you'll get a page called Submission Status. Now, there are a number of, there's a number of important things that are contained in this page, okay. On this page, the students will be able to see the status of their submission. So in other words, submitted for grading, okay. It has not been marked yet, and we can see that on the graded status. Okay, once it has been marked, that will change. Okay, we see the due date. So in other words, when is the assignment due? Okay, the time remaining. So the time remaining refers to the difference between now and the due date of the assignment. Okay, so students can see if they've uploaded early, okay, I still have 3 days, 2 minutes, and 29 seconds left, okay, before the final submission is due, okay. We can see when it was last modified. Now, the last modified date, that is when the student uploaded the document, okay.
And Gareth, does that mean that I can still go and actually modify the document? As you mentioned, it will show how many days I still have left before the due date.
I will come to that now. Okay.
Okay. All right.
And finally, in the list, okay, we have got the file submissions, okay, and there is the name of the file at the bottom. Below the submission status, there is a blue button. Again, why? We like blue for some reason. Okay, so this one says make changes to your submission. So if it is not the final date, okay, or final point of submission, I do have the option of making changes. I can go back, I can make changes, rescan the document, re-upload it. Okay. Remembering, of course, I need to delete what is there already and upload the new one. Okay. You can make changes to assignment 3 up until the final submission. Okay. And I think that pretty much covers it. Mandisa, have I left anything out?
Not that I can think of, but I think one of the questions that I'd like to ask is, obviously you have mentioned that I can still go back and actually, change the file. But once I've uploaded the file, can I actually open it online without taking it off to actually view what I've uploaded there? Or can the review only happen offline?
So you would need to download the document and open it from there.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. And I'm also just going through the comments here. It seems as though our team has actually pretty much gone through all of the questions. We haven't received a lot of those today. Let me just quickly scroll through and see if I'm missing anything. No, it doesn't look like I'm missing anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd just like to hop back to the previous slide if we can. Okay, so again, just a reminder of those sessions that we still have coming up. Okay, so paper versus online exam booking, and I know that's one I'm looking forward to. What's new for RTAP and RPL students? Where to find your results? Online exams, what is required? And of course, how to register on the student portal. Now, answers to these questions and many, many more are contained on our knowledge base. We keep punting the knowledge base. Students can go there for general exam infos and policies. They can look for course information. They can look for digital portfolios. They can read articles about results, certificates. Pretty much everything is there. And I know that the knowledge base is updated regularly. Why? Because I do it. So that is part of my job, is to write the articles for the knowledge base. So I have a pretty good idea of what is there, you know, and it is something that I do on a weekly basis. Is I go through the knowledge base and I go back and I look at the articles and see, okay, fine, have we tweaked something? Have we changed it slightly? Do I need to modify? Okay, so that our information is always current.
Awesome. Another question that I have for you, Gareth, is, let's say I've uploaded my assignments, I've checked it, or at least I think I've checked it, and then I've clicked on submit, like before the due date, I've actually clicked submit. And then I realized later that I actually uploaded the wrong document. What's going to happen is ICB going to reopen the portal for me. Will the portal be closed by then? What's the way forward there?
The portal will be closed. The portal closes on that last day of submission at the cutoff time. Okay.
Okay. All right.
If a student misses the date or uploads the wrong assignment and does not realize that, they can contact the ICB, but of course there are penalties for late submissions.
Okay. Awesome. And am I correct in saying that on the actual POE, under the instructions for how to upload the assignment, which is pretty much the same information that you're going through, but in addition, there's also, if I'm not mistaken, basically some tips on some apps that you can use to actually consolidate your pages into a single PDF document, and how to and which apps you can use to actually scan with your phone, etc. So we've actually given some tips on the POE, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct. So again, it's not only the live streams, it's not only the articles. We put extra information into the POE itself to further assist students.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Okay, and of course, please, you know, for those viewing, we hope that you enjoy us, and we'll of course come back for more. Please do not forget to like us on Facebook and to follow us on YouTube. And yes, we look forward to supporting you just as you support us going forward. Thank you very much, and good night.